starting with the duramater.
All right, so the great thing about the Dura is it's pretty easy to tell. Remember we said Tough Mother? So this is the white duramater. So if I were to tag, I could put a pin in it or something, or a tag on it, you can see that's duramater right there, the white stuff. Okay, next one.
Arachnoid.
All right. If it has the vessels, see these little dark vessels? They're located in the valleys. Then it still has the arachnoid layer attached to it. So just realize that. Still has the arachnoid. If we get this so it's all gone, or all these black lines are gone, then you know it's just pia mater. Because what happens is this duramater kind of tents over the top of the valleys a little bit. I don't know if we have any here that don't have it removed, so, or that have it removed, so I don't see it. So, okay?
After pia mater?
Yeah, so we'll go to the next one, yeah.
Okay. Dorsal structures, longitudinal fissure.
So there's the longitudinal fissure right there between the left and right cerebral hemispheres. Okay?
Convolutions.
All right, convolutions. Remember what I said what they were before? They represent collectively the hills and the valleys. So the gyri are going to be the hills, and the sulci will be the valleys between the hills. Okay?
Cerebrum.
All right, so the cerebrum, largest part of the sheep brain, but not very large. And that tells you why sheep are like they are.
Cerebral hemispheres.
All right, so the cerebral hemisphere, of course, this is the right cerebral hemisphere, this is the left cerebral hemisphere.
Cerebellum.
All right, cerebellum is this structure back here. You can also see, this is great because you can see, remember I talked about the arbor vitae, the tree of life? Can you see it there? Does it look like a tree? Okay.
Corpora.
All right, corpora quadrigemina. This is a little bit tougher one, and we'll open this up so you can kind of see, and I'll bring it around so everybody can see it. Corpora quadrigemina means 4 bodies. Okay? And we talked about these a little bit. We maybe mentioned the colliculi, but they're at the back of the midbrain. And if I fold this down, you can see there's a bump there, 2 bumps there, and then there's 2 bumps right there. Those are the corpora quadrigemina. 2 bumps here, and then 2 bumps right there. Okay? 2 bumps right there, and 2 there. Bump, 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 bump. Corpora quadrigemina. The 2 upper ones are called the superior colliculi, and the 2 lower ones are called the inferior colliculi.
Ventral structures, olfactory bulbs.
All right. Olfactory bulbs is a good brain to show this. These are the ones for smell. 2 olfactory bulbs are these big white things here and here. Okay? Olfactory bulbs there and there.
Optic nerves.
Okay? Optic nerves go to the eyeball. So the eyeball would set here and also here on the sheep brain. So we've got this optic nerve going off to where the eyeball would be. So this is optic nerve here and optic nerve there. Here and here. Here and here. There and there. Also, you've got an optic nerve. You can see this one cut, mid down or down the midline. There's optic nerve there. Okay.
Optic chiasma.
Very good. Chiasm means cross, or chiasma means cross. So where the 2 optic nerves come together in the midline here, that's the optic chiasm. Optic chiasm. Optic chiasm. Okay.
Optic tracts.
All right, you're not going to see the optic tracts on here, but you're going to, here's the way we'll do this, and I'll just tell you right now. On the sheep brain, the only 2 cranial nerves that you'll have to identify will be the olfactory and optic, 1 and 2. Now there are 12 cranial nerves, okay? But they're hard to find on these because they are so fragile. So the only other, but you are still going to be responsible for all 12 cranial nerves, but only from a picture like that, okay? And we'll cover the cranial nerves next lecture, so you'll see them in great depth and detail before you have that test in lab, okay? So picture like that is sheep brain for all 12, but only off the sheep brain will we do 1 olfactory, 2 optic,
hypothalamus.
All right. Remember I said hypothalamus means it's below the thalamus. Very good. So, and what we'll do is I want to, every semester we've got to find a good brain that has this. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. All right, this is good. Let's get our bearings here first. This is the lateral ventricle. You see that opening? Lateral ventricle. Okay? Lateral ventricle. Now, below, remember I said the thalamus is located below the lateral ventricle, so this is thalamic tissue right here. If you look very carefully, you'll almost see kind of a circular-like structure. Circular-like structure right here. I'll show you another example. Circular-like structure right here. You can also see on this one a pretty good shot of a circle right there. See the circle right there? The circle, a large circle, is the thalamus. So the hypothalamus is going to be the tissue down below it. So this is hypothalamic tissue right here. Okay? Below the circle. I'll show you on this one. Circle, hypothalamus below it. Okay, then this is midbrain, pons, and medulla. Circle, hypothalamus, midbrain, pons, the bridge, and then medulla, then the cord. Okay? Circle, midbrain, pons, and medulla, then the cord. There's the central canal of the cord. See that? Central canal of the cord. See that stripe? That dark stripe? Okay. Did you see that?
This might be part of the hypothalamus with the infundibulum.
You got it.
Renumillary body.
All right. So the infundibulum. Best way to do this is to draw, but I got stuff all over it. Pituitary gland is this structure right here. See the big bump? Big bump right there. Bump. That's pituitary gland. In front of that is the optic chiasm. Behind it is these things called the mammillary body. But the best way to do this is just to tell you that pituitary gland has a stalk that connects it to the base of the brain. When you pop off this dura mater, you usually pull the pituitary gland off with the dura mater. So that's why it's still intact here, but if you look at most of these, from the mid-sagittal cut, like this one for example, there's no more pituitary gland here. It's all been removed. So you probably won't see it, but just know the infundibulum connects the base of the brain to the pituitary gland that sits kind of suspended right here. Pituitary gland would be suspended right here. Okay? Move right in here. So the infundibulum is the stalk that connects the pituitary gland to the base of the brain.
Cerebral peduncles.
All right. Yeah, those are tough ones to say. The cerebral peduncles or peduncles connect the cerebrum to the brainstem. So they're part of the midbrain, okay? So if you look right here, this is a good shot from the anterior view. This is midbrain, pons, and medulla, and the cord, okay? Midbrain, pons, medulla, and then cord. Midbrain, pons, medulla, and then cord. So these are the cerebral peduncles, this front part of the midbrain, going off to the two cerebrum or cerebral halves. They're kind of like stalks, but to the cerebrum, whereas the infundibulum was stalked to the pituitary gland. I'll show you again. Cerebral peduncle here, peduncle right there. Stalks that connect the brainstem to the cerebrum. Okay? Peduncle there, peduncle there.
Oculum nerve.
All right, oculomotor nerve is going to be number 3, and as I said before, we will not do it off the sheep brain, but we'll do it over here. So this is 1, 2, 3 oculomotor. 4 is trochlear. We will learn these next day and next time in lecture. This is 4. That's trochlear. 5 is trigeminal. 6 is abducens. 7 is facial. 8 is vestibulocochlear. 9 is glossopharyngeal. 10 is called vagus. 11 is this one right here, coming up and then coming down. That's accessory. And then 12 is hypoglossal. So you'll learn all of these. I wouldn't worry about these too much until we cover them in lecture. But you can see they've got their cranial nerve Roman numeral numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. So 1 olfactory, 2 optic, 3 oculomotor, 4 trochlear, 5 trigeminal, 6 abducens, 7 facial, 8 vestibulocochlear, 9 glossopharyngeal, 10 vagus, 11 accessory, and 12 hypoglossal. Means nothing to you right now. I understand that. But you will know it after next lecture.
Trochlear nerve.
All right, so we've covered trochlear nerve.
Pons.
We've covered pons. I remember I showed you where the pons was.
Yeah.
Pons, from a side view like this is midbrain, pons, and medulla. Okay? Midbrain, pons sticks out the most on the underside, and medulla. Midbrain, pons, and medulla. Y'all see that over there? Okay. Midbrain, pons sticking out in the medulla. And if we do the same thing from the underside of a sheep brain that's a little bit better, where do we get that one? Here now. This we can kind of peel away so you can see. Okay. Midbrain, there's the cerebral peduncles, pons, medulla, and then cord. By the way, this is this one right here. Where are we? This is oculomotor nerve, just so you can kind of see, but it's kind of hard to tell. So I won't test you on the sheep brain because they're just too small. Plus, they don't last long. As soon as you get them out into the air, they start to dry out. Okay? Those little nerves are hard to see. Okay, next thing.
Trigeminal nerve.
Don't worry about trigeminal nerve on this. Know it from over there.
Abducens nerve.
Good. So we're going to skip over abducens nerve. I want you to note over there. Same with facial nerve. Same with vestibulocochlear, accessory nerve, hypoglossal nerve. So you won't have to know any of those off of the sheep brain except for 1 and 2. Olfactory and optic. Okay?
Corpus callosum.
Right. Corpus callosum, callosum, same thing. Very good. So the best way to do this, I'll hold it like this so everybody can see initially, is that the lateral ventricle is right here. There's an upper lip to the mouth and a lower lip to the mouth. Okay? That upper lip right there is the corpus callosum. The lower lip is called the fornix. Okay? So I open the mouth, upper lip is corpus callosum, lower lip is fornix. Upper lip, corpus callosum, lower lip is fornix. So I can open this up again so you can see, but upper lip, corpus callosum, lower lip, fornix.
And the middle again is the thalamus?
The middle is the mouth, that's the lateral ventricle.
Oh, lateral.
Third ventricle.
All right. Third ventricle. Here's the way I want to describe this. Talked about it up there. Remember, the third ventricle sets in the midline. There's 2 lateral ventricles off to the side. Third ventricle and the fourth ventricle set in the midline. So the best way to describe this, remember I said if you look at my picture up there, it should be still up there, yeah. Hypothalamus is lateral to the third ventricle. So the way I like to describe this is my hands represent hypothalamic tissue. The space between, right, is third ventricle. So on the test, what we'll do, let's go back to where hypothalamus is again. Slippery suckers. Sounds like Pretty Women, doesn't it? Okay, so right there is thalamus.